In 1917, Chattanooga Bakery sent its traveling salesman, Earl Mitchell, to Kentucky, where he found himself selling to coal miners. One of the miners asked him for a snack as big as the moon. Earl reported back, and the moon pie was invented soon after. A cheap, filling treat that was able to fit in coal miners' lunch pails. The snack was good enough for groups of coal miners, but will it satisfy this group of snack diners? When a canary dies, it's time to get out of the mine. But you know it's time to snack when you hear the canary say, "You tried that." You Tried Dat. I'm Nick Novak with that pal, Shad Hancock,
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Yo! Shaking it up.
You got
right.
me hungry for some canary with that intro. I'm
Delicious.
yeah, I'm feeling like some bird tonight.
What is it? Which is the tastiest bird?
I
Chicken,
guess
turkey?
Okay, specifically though fried chicken because that's
Right.
how you'd have to prepare it. Although duck, you can make a case
Duck
for
is
duck.
good.
Oh yeah.
Peking duck and pressed duck and all that. I mean, those are... I've had Cornish game hens, which is just a chicken, I think. Bald eagle's pretty good.
Dodo.
Dodo, yeah.
Dodo.
Pterodactyl.
Right. Yeah, the famous bird, pterodactyl.
So, or before the podcast, I said, guys, I want you to come up with something that really chaps your ass, that really grinds your gears. But I gave you no other instructions. So
Right.
I'm really curious what three different guys came up with for what chaps your ass. So Geiger, your ass, you tend to have a chapped ass.
You wear a lot of chapless pants, right?
I have chapless pants, which means my ass, and I walk around outside in the wind, so the wind chaps my ass quite often. So the wind is one of them. Another one is being asked 4 hours before a podcast what chaps my ass. I really dislike that. No, there's a couple that came to mind right away, and they're both food related. One is, again, these are not major things, but I really hate it when I'm at a restaurant and someone I'm with
Chaps your ass.
chaps my ass, and the waitress walks up and starts chapping my ass. I'm like, you don't need to do this. It's chapped already. I came chapped. No, it's like when they start like making a ton of alterations to everything they order. It's like, and so in full disclosure, this is mostly related to my wife, but she has to do that sometimes because of celiacs. So that is totally fine. That is not what I'm asking.
Yeah.
But it takes 45 minutes to order food with my wife because first of all, she has to ask about the celiacs and then ask again about the celiacs and ask a third time to the point where the waiter's like hocking up the loogie like preemptively so he could go back to the kitchen and put it in our food. And then it's all these endless substitutions.
But are the loogies gluten free? That's the important question.
Yeah,
I think your wife
he
needs to know.
pours some flour in his mouth, he shook it around. But like then she'll like, let's say the food comes with like corn and she'll be like, oh yeah, instead of the corn, can I get broccoli? And instead of like, you get no lettuce on that burger, but instead of lettuce, could I get strawberry? Do you have fresh strawberries back? And I'm like,
On the burger.
just like, yeah, I'm just like
Bold
holding
choice.
my head, like, what the fuck are you doing? Just order the goddamn food. Like the waitress does not want to write up a 15-page ticket for you that they're gonna fuck up.
Right.
She orders a burger and like ends up with like some kind of duck dick, like something that's completely opposite of what she ordered.
Instead of this burger, do you have canary? That's what I really want.
And then the second one that came to mind right away is when people like steal bites of my food repeatedly to the point where it's like, that's still my fucking dinner. Like, stop.
Mhm.
I don't mind sharing a little bit or like having a bite of someone's food, but like what really annoys me is like we'll order pizza and then like Betsy, my kids will come by and like pick all the pepperoni off. I'm like, don't just eat the best parts of the food. Now I'm just eating cheeseless pizza because half the cheese ripped off of each pepperoni. Or like we'll have jambalaya and the family would pick out all the pieces of sausage. Oh, cool! Thanks I get to now eat rice and onions.
You got to be quick, man. You got to be faster. You got to get that shit before they do.
That one grinds my gears too because my wife famously will
scraps. Yeah.
eat anything. Yeah, and so is always trying to eat my food, and more so it's the drink where she says, "I'm like, you sure you don't want something to drink?" No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
And it's always now because she's going to drink my drink. That's the reason.
Yeah, it's like, I don't need, do you want your own french fries? No, I'll just have some of yours. Let's be clear, no, you won't. So do you want your own french fries?
This goes with it a little bit, but one huge issue. This is the biggest food argument between us. Is we'll order wings. I thought about it because Geiger was just eating wings, and they'll come with like a ramekin of blue cheese or something. And I take a normal person's dip, and she puts that thing like fist deep in there and is eating. There's more dip than there is wing at that point, and so I get like no dip, and so it's a huge issue for us.
You gotta split the dip ahead of time, right? Like pour half of it into another ramekin or something like that.
Yeah,
And be like, that's your dip. This is mine.
Chad, what chaps your ass?
Well, actually, so I have some separate things, but Geiger's made me think of one. My mom recently has developed in a lot of food allergies as she's gotten older. So she's become kind of intolerant to gluten, but she also has some that are very specific. Like she decided, well, I guess she didn't decide, but she is now allergic to
She made the choice.
to red wine that and the reason is because the red wine is aged in a burnt oak cask specifically.
What?
Is she allergic to oak?
She's allergic to red wine aged in a burnt oak cask. And so
Sounds like she's allergic to science.
so we were out to eat at a restaurant, and it's fine. You have food allergies, ask about the food allergies,
Sure.
Great. But the way she did it was like very the waiter comes over, and instead of saying like, "Oh, is there red wine in the sauce for the steak that she wants to order?" She goes, "Tell me about the sauce." And so then, of course, like the waiter is like, "Well, it's marinated in a blah 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 and slow roasted some bullshit, etc." Right? And like, which doesn't answer her question. And like, it's this whole back and forth before finally I just jump in and I'm like, "Doesn't have red wine from a burnt oak cask," which like,
which is also something a waiter's going to be like, "The fuck do I know? I
yeah,
don't
right.
It was in a steel drum. I don't know."
I was like, "We need to know if it has red wine or not." And he's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Get something else, Mom." But the one I thought of specifically for this was people commenting on the appearance of my house negatively, unsolicited.
Wow, who's doing that?
So this happened specifically two different things. So the first was a couple years ago, we painted our house purple, which sounds wild, but it's not that wild for San Francisco. There's actually a lot of purple houses.
Right.
You paint a house purple, you're asking for an ass chopping. I don't know what you want.
But not in San Francisco. That's the thing. Like, there are 3 other purple houses within a block and a half from me. So it's not that wild.
Don't you have a bunch of burnt oak casts out on the front?
My house
too?
is constructed entirely of burnt oak casts.
She can't even
We
walk
painted them all
inside.
purple. So, but like, as it was getting painted, people would come by and they'd see the painters working or whatever. And the common comment from like a lot of people was they would just look at it and go, "Purple, huh?" Like, that's kind of it. But then the second instance actually just happened yesterday. So I took like a couple days off work to build a brand new sidewalk garden box. We have like a tree and the sidewalk in the front, and like
You took a few days off work to do that.
well, because
I was also counting in my head how long that would take.
it took me 3 days. 3 days off work to go buy the lumber, like cut it all because I made a serious fucking garden box, right? Because they destroyed it before by just opening a door into it. So I'm like, okay, this next one I'm gonna build, you open a door into it, the door is gonna lose. So I dug like 8-inch holes and like buried like 4x4 posts in there, and like the whole thing's like 2 feet tall. It's got like a bench going all the way around it. And then some guy, like, as just yesterday, I'm coming down the steps with my dog, and some guy's walking past, and he's just looking at it. And he just looks at me and he's like, "What kind of wood did you use for this?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know. A cedar, I think. Whatever was like there." And he's like, "Should have used pressure treated redwood." And I'm like,
What?
Unsolicited?
like, what are you talking about? He's like, "This is gonna rot. I give it a year and a half." And I'm like, "I haven't even stained it yet, dude. I need to take a 4th day off work to stain it. All right, give me some time to like."
Was it your boss? Is that why he was mad? You took 3 days off. This shit's gonna rot.
And I'm like, "You don't like my garden box? Like, just shut the fuck up and keep walking. You know what I mean? Like, don't start telling me about the shitty job I did. I know it kind of sucks. Deep down, I know that, but I'm still really proud of it.
Who stops to critique the work of complete strangers?
That's bizarre. Yeah.
So weird.
I don't know.
This thing's not sturdy at all. He's like going at it with the sword.
He's like, he's got a chainsaw. He's like, should have used steel.
When you said that about the Purple House, it reminded me of a time my ass was momentarily chapped, and it was actually during one of the greatest moments of my life. My son was born. I'm in the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you got a chapped ass then?
Well, I mean, yeah, I wanted Betsy her ass is a little bit chapped from all the pregnancy, so just in solidarity.
Your ass was chapped and your son's ass was slapped?
Right. Yes. And then I killed someone afterwards, so their ass was capped. No, stupid. Moving on.
You shot a guy?
I shot a guy. Yeah, you know what really chapped my ass when I spent the night in the jail on the birth of my son because I killed him.
You shot a guy because you were like, that garden box shouldn't have been cedar.
Let me show you how this rotted wood won't protect you. And I shot a hole through it and killed the guy. And somehow only spent the night in jail, according to me. Well, you should have used treated redwood. You're free to go. So I'm calling the family to tell everyone, hey, we had not told anyone the sex. So I said, hey, you have a grandson or you have a nephew or whatever. And
we haven't told anyone the sex, so I called him up and said, we had it, and now there's a child.
I haven't told anyone I had sex yet. And I was like, guys, you're not going to believe this. You just thought Betsy was getting fat this whole time. No, so I called my mom, and I'm like, hey, congrats, you have a grandson. And she's like, oh, that's great. What's his name? And I said, Jacob Xavier is his name. And she goes, huh? Xavier, huh? I'm like, yeah. It's kind of weird. I'm like, fuck you, my son is born. And my ass is moment. I'm like, well, whatever. It's my day. I'm gonna go call my dad.
I mean, it is kind of weird.
No, what? What? I wanted to name him Xavier as his first name, but Xavier Geiger is just a lot of ers.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I remember I picked when I was in high school and I took French class, you know how they make you pick like a French name or a Spanish name if you're in Spanish or whatever. And there wasn't really anything close to like Chad. So they're just like, okay, pick one from this list. And I picked Xavier because like I thought X was a cool letter because of like X-Men. I was into the X-Men cartoon.
And that's actually the character on the X-Men's name too. So
yeah, it's Professor X's name.
Right.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Professor X sucks. But so I picked Xavier, and then in French it's pronounced Xavier, which is fucking lame as shit. So then for 3 years I went by Xavier, and it was totally chapped my ass.
For 3 years? How long were you in French? Did you keep failing, or was it 3 years of...
Yeah, it took 3 years of French in high school.
Right. It's a long time to have an ass chapped.
Yeah. Let's hear some French.
Oh, boy.
No?
Il fait du soleil. That's it. That's all I remember. It means it's
mean?
sunny outside.
Les chapped ass.
Les chapped ass.
All right. You know what chaps my ass? Vests.
Did I miss something?
I was thinking of this earlier because
Geiger's like, it takes 1 million years for people to order food. I'm like, people don't like my purple house. Vests.
It was cold here, and a guy was wearing a heavy vest.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold out. You have no fucking sleeves. I don't get the winter vest. What's the fucking point of the winter vest?
Why do you care if he's cold?
Wearing a vest and he was bare chested underneath that.
No.
He had no pants on, just a vest?
He had a regular long sleeve shirt, but it was cold enough to wear a coat, right?
Okay.
You needed a coat and potentially a hat.
Mm-hmm.
Why, what is the purpose of the vest? It's fashion, right? Because who only is hot on their chest and torso?
No, Mac, I gotta be honest. You sound a little like Garden Box Judger right now. Like, well, you're not this guy's dad. Why do you give
I
a
didn't
shit?
say anything to him. I just capped him. I didn't even ask.
You capped him?
You should have used a pressure-treated vest. That's what's going to stop these bullets. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I personally don't understand vests. I don't own a vest. I never wear vests. But my wife is big into vests. She wears a lot of vests. So I can sort of sympathize where she doesn't get that cold in her arms, but she gets cold sort of like the rest of the place. So
Yeah.
I think that she'll wear vests around the house, like over top of her. And I'm like, let's just turn up the heat. And she's like, no, then we'd have to pay for it. So that chaps my ass.
Okay. All right. Talking about ass chapping.
Chap that ass.
Our household is constantly freezing for the same reason. Like, I'm not gonna. Oh, I don't want to turn up the heat. We have to pay for it. And I'm like, but we'll spend like $200 at dinner. What's the fuck?
Just
Like,
put on a vest, Geiger. Put on a vest.
Right.
I could have worn like 3 vests.
They don't want the like furnace's gears grinding away, but instead they're grinding your gears.
Right. Novak also hates it when you just wear sleeves. He gets really mad about that. The reverse vest. Sleeves and like something to cover your belly button. That's all it is.
All right. Let's eat some snacks. We've been doing plenty of complaining here. So we're going to have 3 snacks, rate them on a 5-point scale. I love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. And let's lead off with the Reese's. It usually
oh boy,
ends the show, but this is the Reese's Mallow Top Marshmallow Flavored Cream with Milk Chocolate. So I've been very curious to try this for a while now.
It's got like a white top. Like the top, not even half, maybe top quarter or third of it is white.
Ooh. It smells different.
I wonder how that'll be different from like just white chocolate. Is it just white chocolate or will it have an actual marshmallow flavor?
It smells marshmallowy, kind of.
Do I taste marshmallow? I need to isolate it.
It doesn't taste like white chocolate, though. I don't think.
The consistency of it is exactly like a Reese's cup. There's nothing soft or marshmallow-y on top. I don't know if you didn't tell me it was marshmallow that I would guess it was.
I would never pick marshmallow out of a lineup for this thing. But you do taste something, right? There's like a flavor there.
Yes.
That you get that you can tell it's not a regular Reese's cup. I guess there's a little bit of marshmallow there on the end in the aftertaste.
Yeah, I agree. You're right. I was just thinking that. Geiger, what are you going to rate this thing?
Well, I feel like I'm probably the wild card here because, as we know, I'm dealing with King Reese's and a man who doesn't like his classics changed. So I think I'm the only one that maybe is a wild card.
Wait, what are you eating instead of the Reese's?
A carrot. Yeah, I just needed to cleanse my palate. I didn't eat dinner. I'm hungry.
It's a Mallow Top carrot, though, so it's okay.
Yeah, right. This carrot, I don't know, different to that. Just a carrot. They fucked with this carrot. They put peanuts inside it. No. I don't love it. It's the marshmallow. It's not white chocolate because I don't like white chocolate, so it's not that bad. But it makes the whole thing way too sweet. It throws the whole thing out of balance, and I feel like I didn't really taste the regular chocolate, and I almost didn't taste the peanut butter. All I taste is that super sweet flavor in my mouth. I am actually going to give this a dislike that. I don't really like it that much. This is a pox on the name of Reese's to me.
All right. Chad, what do you think?
I agree that it doesn't taste like white chocolate. I actually think it's worse than the white chocolate. I think the aftertaste, I wish it was just white chocolate because then it would just be like, all right, this is just a little too sweet for me. But the aftertaste of it is actually kind of off-putting to me. And I like marshmallows. I think marshmallows are good, but when you have that sort of like fake marshmallow chemicaliness that's added to this or whatever, it really does not work for me. I think the aftertaste is bad. I'm not going to give it a hate because there was still the chocolate and the peanut butter, which is tasty. But overall, nothing about this thing is working for me, really. So it is going to get a dislike that from King Reese's.
You guys, everything you said was right on. This is marshmallow like eating a marshmallow Jelly Belly. Like there's nothing marshmallow about it. It's just a little bit of flavor that could be marshmallow at the very end.
Yep.
I agree. It's worse than the white chocolate. It's not a hate because it still does have nice Reese's peanut butter in it, which saves it a bit. So we do have an unwelcome visitor, Reese's Mallow Top. We definitely do not recommend that. So let's move next to the Hormel Pepperoni Snack Bites.
These things look like dog treats.
I have been saying that all week. I told Novak that earlier tonight. They look hilarious.
It's like if you took a long pepperoni stick and sliced it into small pieces.
They smell all right, though.
Now, pepperoni is universally the best pizza topping. There's no question about that.
I would take sausage over pepperoni, I think.
Yeah, well, that's why you're you.
All right.
Here's how I feel about that. Sausage, I don't feel is as consistently good everywhere you get it.
Okay. Fair.
And pepperoni is like if you're at a nice pizza place, the sausage is a good bet. But like if you're ordering a cheap pizza, like a Domino's pizza or something, that sausage is always nasty.
You also shouldn't trust my opinion on pizza because I don't like pizza. So there you go.
These taste like pieces of
Pepperoni.
They're a little spicy, or is that just because I'm a huge wuss?
That's just how pepperoni tastes.
This is a pepperoni flavor. Yeah.
I feel like they're spicier than pepperonis I've had on pizzas.
Chad, you're up first. What do you think of these pepperoni snack bites?
The first one I actually thought it wasn't too bad. I was prepared to give it an indifferent to that, but I ended up eating 3, and they're really greasy. Like they're like oily. There's like a gross film on them that's kind of turning me off, and then the heat built up in my mouth after 3 of them, and it sort of made it unpleasant. So they're still better than the Mallow top, but I am gonna slide them down into a dislike that. Unfortunately, I don't think they're good.
Wow, these I think are fine. I mean, they're greasy. I think because you're putting meat into, and it has to stay for a very long time. So who knows what the hell is keeping these things fresh? They're not fresh, but I was
gonna say nothing.
I don't know. When we eat like beef jerky or something like that, it's not, those meat sticks aren't this.
Yeah,
greasy.
I suppose.
Well, they're dried out though. Pepperoni isn't dried like that.
All right.
I prefer to eat the pepperoni pieces that you buy that would be like the pieces you put on top of a pizza that are flatter. It's a better vehicle, I think, for the pepperoni. That said, pepperoni is a very good meat. I like the spice part that you're saying is the spice part as the pepperoni flavor is very good to me. I like this as a snack. There's nothing offensive about it to me. I would definitely eat it again. I'm going to give it a low level, but a like that. Geiger, who you falling with? I'm guessing me.
Oh yeah, and I'm in the bag for pepperoni, guys. Pepperoni's good to great. There's never been bad pepperoni. We covered that. I agree. I would rather have the thin slice of pepperoni, the big wide circle, but this is fine. There's probably some good protein. I don't know, on the go. It's mostly just meat. There's also some, I don't know, ooze in there or whatever, like Chad said, like the grease is probably the most off-putting part of it. But I could see grabbing a packet of these for a road trip or something. These are good. It's no different than eating like a big beef stick, like Novak said. Like you get those, we've done some of them on here, like the turkey stick and stuff. It's essentially that. So, I mean, it's Hormel, so it's probably not as high quality, but this is solid like that. These are fine.
All right. 2 likes, a dislike. It's a beatable score, and the moon pie is game. So we'll be getting to that. But segment time, and we're going to return to a segment I've done a couple times in the past, and it's about time to go back. It's spring, which means that love is in the air, and love doesn't sometimes comes from unexpected places. That's why you might have to check for a Craigslist missed encounter. Right? So
yeah,
I'm going to give you 6 different Craigslist ads that are real ads, and you guys are going to rate and say, is there going to be romance or no chance? Those are your choices.
Okay.
An example, right? An example of this, a real one I just picked out, says, looking locally for Roxy. We used to be pretty close. Thought we'd just keep in touch for old time's sake. No commitment, just catching up. If you see this and want to meet, please reach out. Right? That seems like these 2 people could get together, right?
Yeah,
if Roxy saw this, to rekindle an old relationship.
Yeah, get their Roxys off. It'd be great.
All right, so here's the first one. I first saw you cross Main Street as the parade was going by. You were alone and went to Thunder Mountain. I wanted to talk to you, but you made a cell call and looked like you were going to meet someone. You had a red shirt and flip-flops on. Attached is a picture of you.
Oh, boy.
Well, that narrows it down. I mean,
Is the picture from the front, the back? Like, how creepy is this picture?
I did see the picture. It was just somebody standing by a railing, like from behind. Somebody in a red shirt.
You couldn't see their face.
You could not see their face. They were. You could
Okay.
see like their profile because they were on
Yeah.
the cell phone.
Yeah, could you see their dumper?
Yeah, you could
Okay.
definitely. Well, it was a long shirt, but you could definitely get like
okay.
half dumper.
Okay.
So, Chad, what do you think of this
I need to see how chapped that dumper is. Ooh, okay, so Main Street, Thunder Mountain, we're talking there either at Disneyland or I guess Disney World, because this is probably recent, and Disneyland has still been closed.
Oh, I thought Thunder Mountain was like a euphemism or something. Oh, I thought you were about to climb Thunder Mountain and then you took a cell call.
Well, I guess so, but there is a Main Street and a Thunder Mountain in Disney World.
I assumed it was Disney too.
Yeah. So that's extra creepy because the guy's trying to like horn up in the middle of Disney with all these kids around.
The picture was of a guy, so I think it actually, and I think it was posted by a woman. This was taken by a woman.
Okay. The fact that they included photographic evidence, though, makes it seem like there is a chance that the person could actually like identify themselves, like, "Oh yes, that was me." You know what I mean? Otherwise, there'd be no way to figure that out. I think we got a little chance of romance here. I'm gonna go romance. All right. Yeah. Okay.
It's like Cinderella, but he's going around with like this picture of a dumper and then just checking it next to all the dumpers in town.
Put on these assless chaps if they fit. I know it's you.
Hey, Geiger, what do you think?
You said he was wearing red pants and he was at Disney World. Are you sure this is
a red shirt?
Oh, I thought it might have been Mickey
and shorts.
Like a guy in the Mickey costume. This is you. Is this like a
picture of you?
two giant ears, big tail, dumbass grin.
You were taking pictures of children and then went to go make a cell call. Honestly, I can't tell when I'm more creeped out by the fact that they took a picture of the guy, or the fact that he refers to it as a cell call. It's just very strange phrasing. But so yeah, I think
this person has called a lot of people from their cell in the past. That's why that.
You went to go make your one phone call. I think it's, it was fine until he took a picture.
Yeah,
that's really what I'm having a hard time with. Like against someone's knowledge,
bit of a hurdle.
The guy wasn't with children either, right? It wasn't like kids surrounding.
No,
All right,
no.
okay.
So, what, you gonna say romance?
No, it's so creepy. I'll say no chance. That's kind of weird.
Okay. Let's see what you think of this one. I drove you to the hospital while you were in labor. I'm a driver for part-time ambulance. I purposely didn't capture your billing info because I felt like you were in a bind. I noticed the baby's a bind of having a child.
You seem to have a little predicament over there.
I noticed the new baby's dad didn't seem to be involved. If you're looking for someone who would be a good father figure, I'm available and looking for a long-term relationship. Just find the app and pretend like you lost something in the vehicle and we can reconnect through the app. The last sentence is important. If not, no big deal.
I thought that was a lot tamer. I thought it was gonna be like just pull out the app, chop off your arm, and I'll come take you to the hospital.
No, but I mean, if here's a big bunch of crazy ass fucking idea, but if you're not into it, no, that's cool.
That is this guy. This guy must be wearing extra big pants because he has a colossal set of testes in there. Hey, yeah, it's me. Remember, you were in the process of giving birth? I'm going to make a blanket judgment on the guy you were with and just assume he's not in the picture. You want to hook up? You've got nothing going on right now other than, not sleeping and breastfeeding nearly 24 hours a day. You want to go on a first date with a stranger you don't know? What the fuck? Yeah. This guy's insane. Also, why does he have to use the app to, is that the only... Can't he just tell her how to get a hold of him? Or you're not allowed to put your phone numbers in these things or something?
There's an ambulance app? Isn't it just 911? I don't understand.
Hey, yeah, I'd like to have an ambulance swing by in a couple hours.
Guys, I got an app idea. It's Uber for ambulances. Okay, so as you're dying, you got to pull out the app and summon the driver.
Please select why you need an ambulance. Got capped. So, Geiger, do you think, though, because, maybe this lady is looking for someone, do you think there's a chance for romance there?
Look, and I think, I don't necessarily think he's being disrespectful. However, she's just got a lot on her plate at the moment. It sounds like she had just gave birth. The guy may not be in the picture. I think there's a low chance only because she's like, what are the odds that a newly pregnant mom is going to be reading Craigslist ads in the 5 minutes she has in between taking care of the kids? So, no, I don't think there's much chance. No.
Do you agree, Chad?
Well, my first impression was like I was trying to understand his motivations, right? Did he not capture the billing address because he didn't want to be creepy and know her actual address and then show up at her house with like flowers or something? Or did he not capture it because he was trying to cut her a break, like so she didn't have to pay? I guess
She was in a bind, a giving birth bind.
Yeah, but then I thought about it some more, and really, it actually doesn't matter because the fucking gall of this guy to assume that this woman who's just given birth needs a white knight to come in and like rescue her. Like, she's probably perfectly capable of taking care of this baby on her own, if that is even the case. So this guy sounds like a total fucking tool. If he's not a tool, no big deal, but no chance.
Look, we all have children.
Yeah.
What lunatic is jumping into the relationship willfully at that point? No.
Hey, we can go on a first date as soon as your newborn learns to latch. Like, what the fuck? They're just busy.
All right, next one. The title is I Need Someone to Fight. Hello, I'm looking for someone who is really muscular, looks mean, and is willing to let me beat him up. The thing is, I really want to impress this girl I like, and I know she likes watching UFC. So I think if she sees me beating up a muscular man, a muscular, mean-looking guy twice my size, then she'll be mine. Please send full body pictures so I can select based on your body composition in the photo and put a mean look on your face. I would like it if you were 25 years old and at least 220 pounds. Here's the kicker. Compensation varies on how much damage you let me do to you. For example, I punch you in the nose 3 times will be worth $50. 5 punches to the head, sweep the legs, and break your arm will be worth $350. If you have any ideas yourself on how you'd like it to beat me up, just let me know. Thanks for your time.
What the fuck? $50 to get your nose obliterated?
5 punches to sweep the leg
to break your arm. $350.
I kind of want to get leg swept. That sounds fun.
So the romance or no chances for this guy and the girl he's trying to impress.
Right.
So Chad, what do you think?
Look, this is straight out of like 100 sitcoms, right?
Yes.
Like or like bad romantic comedies or whatever. And it usually works there, which means in real life it's not gonna work. But she's into UFC, and maybe she would be impressed. I have a feeling like if this guy is trying to plan this stuff, like he's probably like a huge wuss anyways, and I don't think she would believe it. So I'm going to say no chance on this one.
Okay, you sweep the leg.
Well, it depends how much damage he's willing to take. Like, if he might look like a wuss, but when he breaks this guy's fucking arm in front of her, and he's screaming in pain, she'll be super horned
not enough
up.
to get your arm broke.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but maybe the ambulance driver won't take his billing information. So then
You look like you were in kind of a bind, getting your ass kicked by a wuss. Looks like your girlfriend's not in the picture.
I'd like right back. I'd be like, "How about $600? You beat the shit out of me with a pressure treated club."
I mean,
I stuff you in a burnt oak cask and roll you down the hill.
Your allergies are triggered for all time.
I blow pollen in your face and then beat you up as you cower. Yeah, it's like. What kind of... He's basically looking for like a super jacked homeless person. Like what person needs the money so desperately that they're willing to have their arms and limbs broken to impress someone else's not even girlfriend? Now, having said that, I guess this is not a rating of the feasibility of the scenario. It's a rating on will the woman be into it.
Right.
And I think, guys, look, we're all nice guys, sort of.
Sure.
We grew up as nice guys. We couldn't beat up anyone, really. I mean, like maybe small children. We all know that a lot of times, who gets the girls, especially in high school? Big, dumb, violent meatheads.
Right.
Like big, dumb, idiot. And how many times have you? I've been to UFC fights in person, and it is just meathead central, biceps popping, Axe body spray wearing,
biceps
popping. That's what everyone calls it, right? When you make a muscle. And there's a ton of really attractive women with all these guys because they're just giant steroidal meatheads. And so I actually do think, especially if
actually beating people up.
Well, maybe, but I think there's enough women out there that do like maybe this kind of. There's a subset of women that enjoys watching like someone kick the shit out of somebody in their honor.
So you're thinking romance?
I think yes. I don't think he'd go to this
All right.
length if he wasn't fairly certain it would work.
All right, 3 left. This one, it's baseball season. This one's called Major League. Looking for Major League bats for batting practice at our batting cage. Cage is clean and deep for the long ball. Wanting to set up a home run derby with big long bats. Send info and clip of bat to start the application process. She will do the processing. Follow instructions and fit the bill or no response. 9+ only. Thank you.
9+ age? Oh, length.
Must be 9 years old. Show me your bat.
All right, so got here first.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah, sure.
Right up your alley here.
Yeah. Well, look, we've played softball for a long time, and we've had group batting practices, right? Mm-hmm. We sometimes make sure we have cages where we can go deep in the hole with the long wood. Mm-hmm. It happens.
It happens. Yeah.
Hey, it happens to everybody. Like, what's really hot sometimes is a bicep popping, home run hitting. Ass chapping, potentially ass clapping, home run hitting softball guy or baseball guy. So it looks like they're just trying to put a team together. I don't know why you're acting like there's romance involved here. I don't get it. But if she's looking for, was it a she or he? I couldn't remember. You said she'll do the processing. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Okay. If she's really just looking for dudes with like 9-inch dongs.
Wait, where'd you get that from?
Oh, I'm sorry, 9-inch bats, because everyone uses a 9-inch bat. That's really helpful in baseball. Swiping at the ball with one hand.
She just said 9+. Could be centimeters.
Yeah, that's true. 9
Cross
feet
our
long.
fingers.
No, look, we know how the internet works. A woman asks for sex. I'm sorry, for batting practice. She will have. I bet you she already has 500 messages in her inbox. So. Yes, there is going to be some button she can. This is going to work for her.
All right, Chad, you agree?
I disagree. I think there is no chance here because the instructions were too complicated, right? Like she was like, take a clip of the bat, like it has to be polished or whatever she said, right? Like don't cork it.
What? I don't remember that
There
at
was
all.
like 4 or 5 different steps she has to follow, and these like internet dipshits are just going to like snap a quick dick pic and send it off. So I think there's just going to be a lot of non-responded emails there. I'm going to say no chance.
All right, 2 more. The next one says, I saw you yesterday as I was walking through Clipper Mill. You were talking to someone in a car, and when you turned around, you had a huge, sharp-looking, I don't know, Bowie knife. You put it away pretty fast. I wouldn't say we had a moment or anything, but I really wanted to stop and ask you about it. What's with the knife?
I wouldn't say you had a moment either.
You had a moment where your life almost ended, maybe, but
I saw you when you put it away pretty fast. Nothing suspicious there.
I saw it when you put it away really fast into that guy's ribs.
So, Chad, what do you think? Is that, just trying to get to know someone by reminding them of some common interest of a knife here. Do you think it's going to work?
Right. But do you think it was an actual knife, or was this a euphemism for his 9+ bat? His Bowie knife.
What is a Bowie knife?
It's like those big Rambo style army knives, like the big blade that's curved at the end. It's got like the serrated on the back.
All right.
We should have asked our old friend Croc Dundee, the knife expert.
That's not a 9-inch bat. So wait, you think this guy was describing this guy's dick as sharp?
Yeah, I do.
A real
I think,
sharp dick. All dressed up in a tuxedo.
Yeah, it was sharply dressed. It was already like pre-sheathed with a condom that had a little bow tie drawn on it. Yeah, so if this is an actual knife, I don't think there's any chance because the guy's not reading misconnections. He's out there stabbing people. But if this was a euphemism, I think there's a pretty good chance for romance here. So I'm gonna stick with romance.
I think that we stumbled upon a product, a condom that's got like a tuxedo imprinted on it.
Yeah, it's for like very classy sexual encounters.
Just a whole like line of like wardrobe condoms, you know, like,
right.
One of them's just a vest, and then like
That's
one of
not
them's
very
like
effective.
one of them's a skeleton T-shirt, one of them's a behemoth costume.
The bow tie is ribbed for her pleasure. So this guy, so we're not clear, right? If he just whipped out his dick next to this car, if it was a Bowie knife.
I don't know.
It's gotta be a Bowie knife.
I think it's a knife.
Yeah,
I think it's a knife.
Now is this?
He was a chef, maybe.
Right. All you know, the chefs that use Bowie knives and switchblades to cook dinner. Now, are we sure it's not like a David Bowie commemorative knife? Is it? Was it like a collector's
David
piece?
Bowie knife, yes.
Yeah, no, I don't know what moment he thinks I had. Like, you turned to me with a giant knife in your hand and quickly hid it from my view. The only moment you had was the moment where he had to decide if he had to kill a witness.
Are you sure it wasn't a penis with a condom on it that looked like David Bowie? Are we sure it wasn't that?
I think there is no chance for romance because I don't think there's any romantic connection. There's not even he doesn't even sound like he's asking about a date. He wants to know about his knife.
Right.
So what? Now, if you saw a random stranger furtively hide a knife in a parking lot, would you be the guy calling him up to ask him questions about it? Unless you are literally a detective.
He's an undercover cop.
Yeah. Undercover cop is the laziest cop of all time.
Hey, I saw you capping a guy the other night.
Hey, I saw an unidentified white male rob someone's purse and run in the bushes. If you want to reach out to me, Detective John Evans. The cop's like, you got any leads? I posted in Craigslist. Isn't that good enough?
Here's my phone number, 911.
Download the cop app. Summon me. Tell him you lost something in my cop car. And I'll come take you to the station.
I'm already laughing at the last
boy.
one. It's
wait.
so good. All right. It's a short one.
Mm-hmm.
Misconnections. You sat in front of me during Transformers 4. I was the guy saying, quote, "This is wild," every time they transformed. That's the entire thing.
That's all.
How many fucking times do they transform in that movie? It's got to be 370 or something.
He went to a movie called The Transformers and got his mind blown every time it happened.
This lady definitely remembers this guy. There's no question about it.
Not for the reasons he thinks. Or maybe exactly for the reason he thinks. I don't know.
All right, Geiger, you're starting.
Yeah, that I could see there's a strong chance of her like reaching out to him because she was so fucking annoyed. But going on a date with someone who can't wrap their head around a car turning into a robot 300 times in the course of a movie about cars that turn into robots, I don't know if I could handle that.
This is wild.
Is he hoping she'll transform into a naked woman? Oh, wow, this is even wilder. No, I don't think there's any chance for romance here. This is no
Chad?
chance.
This is the same guy like 20 years ago. He's like, oh, when I went to go see Toy Story, I said, this is wild every time there was a toy with a story or something like that. I said, this is wild every time they freed Willie, which was once.
I think they just did it once, right?
Yeah. One wild. That's where he started. Free Willy was his gateway movie.
I said this is wild every time I saw the title of Wild Things.
Oh boy. Nothing more annoying than somebody who won't
Oh.
shut the fuck up in a movie theater. So
Yeah.
I think there is no chance in this one.
All right.
The chances are wild. Let's put it that way.
You think every time he watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, he's like, oh, this is Wilder, every time Gene Wilder came out?
Wow.
Yes! It was great!
All right. That was Misconnections, but it's time to whip out that shoddy. And
every time he saw Charlie, he goes, "This is Child." Because he's a kid.
Oh boy.
Rhymes with wild, right.
Yeah.
All right, we're eating the moon pie.
What a time to be alive.
Moon pie, chocolate double-decker moon pie.
It says on the back, microwave for an out-of-this-world dessert.
Oh.
Huh.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do that.
When was the last time you guys had a moon pie?
I don't know.
I had one of these about a year ago because I saw them, but before that it had probably been 20 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably at least 20 years for me.
I might have had one at a restaurant. It was like a take on a moon pie or something, but I don't think I've had a real moon pie forever.
I've had like fancy restaurant moon pies before.
Yeah.
Many times, and they can be quite delicious.
So this is a huge snack.
Yeah.
And they sell them for like 50 cents a piece. These things are 50 cents a piece. There's chocolate on the outside. There's marshmallow in there, and then it's like it's like a cookie-ish center, but it's kind of softer than cookie.
Very soft. I don't even know. Do you guys taste any chocolate?
You know, it's only on the outside, and I really thought that middle layer was going to be like chocolate cream all the way through, and it wasn't. It's just cookie all the way through. So I feel like it's kind of lacking in the chocolate in that sense.
Yeah, since it is listed as like the chocolate variety of it. I know they also have other kinds of it. I think I saw like a butterscotch one or something.
Oh.
Yeah, it looked gross.
Do you like butterscotch? I don't like it at all.
I like butterscotch candy. Like,
I guess,
just
Werther's are fine, yeah.
Yeah, pronounced like a topping. This is hard. It's hard to rate.
This is wild.
No. This is
I'm the guy where every time I took a bite of a moon pie, I said, "This is wild." You want to bone me?
You were talking to a guy in a car. You turned around, had a huge moon pie in your head, and you quickly hit it.
Okay. Let's see. I think this double-decker version is a little much. I'd like to taste more of the marshmallow, actually. I think it's like a little too much cookie. I'm glad the outside is chocolate. I don't think any other... I know, Guy, you say you don't taste much chocolate, and that's probably true, but I can't imagine any other outside working. This is like one of those... Like those Twinkies and cupcakes, like Hostess snacks that I like. This is kind of in that vein. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like it. Mm-hmm. And I understand that it's shit, but I kind of still like it a bit anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a low level like that. So it's very much in the game.
That is wild.
That's wild. How do you picture him saying that? Was he very pensive, like, whoa, that's wild? Or was he a little more aggressive?
His mission was to say it completely differently every time. And by like the 150th, he's like, fuck, I'm out of ways.
He started yelling it in Mandarin.
He's probably just like, oh, this is wild. That's wild.
Chad, how do you say it? That's wild in French?
That's wild. Bonjour.
That's wild. Hello.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
That's wild, mon ami.
Transformers. This is wild. All right, Geiger.
This is tough. I have some issues with this. It's way too soft. I wish it was like I got a little bit of like bite to it. It's just like and I think Novak, you pointed out something that maybe is exacerbating how soft it feels, is that it's like so thick that you're just like chewing through this like same consistency stuff. There's no like breakup of texture.
It's soft. You could use this as a pillow if you had to.
Yes. No, it's delightful as a sleeping aid. Yeah, but it.
Easily slice through it with a Bowie knife. No problem.
Yeah. No problem at all. I don't taste the chocolate that much. You're right. I don't really even taste the marshmallow. What I really taste is the piles of soft cookie that have a slightly bad aftertaste.
There's a lot of it.
It's
There's a lot of it.
A lot of crumbly, dry, soft cookie that doesn't taste great. And that's bringing it down. If they accentuated the chocolate and marshmallow more instead of the cookie, I think it would have been a good snack. It's not terrible. It's pleasant enough. I'm going to give it an indifferent to that. Or in other words, that's mild. But it's I came to play today.
How long ago were you setting it up?
I was like, hell or high water, isn't it different? No, I really do. I really
not even your rating.
I'm like puking. It's indifferent. It's mild. No, I do think it's pretty much just there as a snack. It's fine, but it's not that great.
Okay, so here's where we stand. It's got a like and indifferent. The pepperoni bites had 2 likes and a dislike. So it very much depends on what Chad says here. So, Chad?
I mean, Geiger talked about how there was no chocolate flavor, barely any marshmallow flavor. And I mean, maybe it was just because I was expecting like a thick layer of chocolate cream in the middle, and I didn't get that. All I got was this fucking dry sponge cookie. That's all you taste is this thick ass fucking dry ass fucking sponge. It's not good. This thing sucks ass. It's really disgusting. This is my least favorite thing that we've eaten today. It needs way more chocolate. It needs any discernible flavor besides sponge.
It's good, except it has no discernible flavor. Yeah, that's true.
But I'm kind of curious about putting it in the microwave, so I'm going to do that later. And that's what's going to save it from a hate that. I'm just going to give it a dislike that, but it is bad. This thing sucks.
All right. That means the Hormel Pepperoni Snack Bites are the winner. Small pieces of pepperoni is what we recommend.
I might have actually rated that carrot the highest.
Geiger, where can the listeners contact us?
If you have your own missed connections and you'd like to use this podcast to get that done, you could post on any of our websites and we'll help you out. If you are a big fan of Transformers and the thought of a robot transforming gets it done for you, you can reach out to me personally. But if you'd like to talk about our podcast, you can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com. You can interact with us on Facebook. We have a group there. You can reach us on Twitter, #YouTriedThat. We're also on Instagram and YouTube and anywhere you can listen to podcasts. And we would love it if you would listen, tell your friends, subscribe, leave a review, and send us a question for the mailbag at some point.
All right. Final question here. What kind of money would it take for you to be, let's say you were a big muscular, 25 years old, 220 pounds, just like this guy wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I have everything but the age, but yeah. Okay.
Right. What kind of money are we talking for you to get punched in the face 3 times? That was the first one. And then 2, sweep the leg, break the arm.
Are those 2 things mutually related? I don't like your sweep. What height am I falling from that I'm breaking my arm on the
Everybody
ground?
knows you can't break someone's arm unless they're on the ground after a leg sweep. It's the only way it breaks. There's no other way.
Common arm break, yeah. What kind of money?
So we're assuming this guy like knows how to punch. Like he's not gonna like try to punch my face and like break his hand or break his.
I'm not sure why I would assume this guy knows how to punch.
Paying a guy to let him get beat up. I don't think he's had a whole lot of fighting experience. I mean, the ground floor for my involvement is pay my medical bills and any lost income I have from not being able to work.
The punches you probably will recover from.
Yeah, it'll hurt. Getting punched in the nose specifically is a really painful.
But $50 is not going to do it.
No, like 52 or something.
Right.
No, if you're gonna give me 3 straight punches in the nose, and I have to also like act like I'm in severe pain, which I would.
Which you would be.
Yeah, I'd say $500 at least. 500, I'd do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chad, more or less than that.
Like, way more than that.
Way more.
okay.
500 is so fucking low.
I'm taking 3 punches though.
I
What's
was
the big
gonna
deal?
say like 50K for 3 punches.
No, that's the other extreme. That's
What
too
a
bad.
fucking Glass Joe over there can't handle 3 punches.
Why do I want to go get punched? I'm so desperate for money. I gotta go get punched.
Okay. Riddle me this, Batman.
Yeah.
You drive halfway across San Francisco for a half-eaten box of noodles to save some money, but you won't get jacked in the face 3 times for $500?
Yeah, one of them I get free food. The other one I got a free bloody nose. Why is this a debate?
You get a free ambulance ride.
I potentially might prefer to someone to just sweep my leg and I fall and break my arm than to let some lunatic randomly punch me 3 times and who knows what happened. Like,
You don't want to break
you
your arm.
break your nose or something like that.
Sure,
I don't
but
want to break my arm.
You don't need to use your nose to like do things all day other than hold up your glasses and smell.
I don't. I don't.
Well, you need your arm a lot more than you need your nose to get through
Uh-huh.
through the day. I mean, how are you going to jack it? You don't need your nose for
The
that.
other arm.
No, you got it. Guys, everyone knows you pick one and you never change it up. No, but I mean, how are you going to get dressed, swing a bat, take a shower? It's going to get itchy. Nose will heal. Your nose will heal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And if when you were getting punched, would you prefer to be saying this is wild?
I mean, you're asking like how I'm going to jack it with one arm, but the bigger question is without a nose, how am I going to smell the cum that I've just blasted all over the room?
Yes, an important part of every sexual encounter. Just wafted up to me. Yeah. Now, I think actually Novak to make this like I bet you he would pay you extra if you brought a Bowie knife and pretended to attack him with it, and then he was able
I bring
to
a Bowie
disarm you.
knife.
Yeah.
Yes, he kicks my ass down Main Street, right in front of Thunder Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Some other guy takes a picture of you and asks you out later.
You had a Bowie knife. You were getting your ass kicked by a man with no knife.
You looked 25, 250 pounds, good body composition. Somehow got your ass kicked by mutant weakling. Had Bowie knife at Disney World somehow.
I wish I saw the guy. Yeah, this guy, and he's like 5'2" and like 110 pounds, and
It's like,
it's just the most comical ass kicking you've ever seen.
yeah. I think Chad did bring up a good point in the debate of like, there's no way this woman's going to believe what's happening if this guy looks like, The Rock and is walking up and getting destroyed by this dude who we can assume is not big. But
That said, when will you be posting your ad like this? So that you can...
I have to approve it to my wife at this point. I'm only really turned down anymore watching you beat the shit out of somebody like you did that night we had
You gotta
Jake.
tell us you had the sex.
Mom, I had sex. Who's this? Becky. Just hung up.
Geiger's like, I need that $500 to go buy a box of bow tie condoms
Yeah.
so I can have the sex.
You got to custom order them. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't have anything else.
All right.
I'm like hunting for a joke and just going, yeah.
Yeah.
What outfit would you want if you could have a condom that had like a full outfit on it?
Yeah.
What would you want? Like Cubs jersey?
Yeah.
You gotta get real serious. Yeah. What's that?
I'm glad you asked. Bear Grylls. No, I think like it would actually kind of look cool to have like a camouflage and like an ammo vest and like the ghillie suit
That's
like Rambo.
cool.
Yeah, you look sweet.
Now
as
who's
shit.
trying to be tougher than they are?
It's like just a row of grenades like Schwarzenegger and Commando or something.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you want Iron Man? I don't know what to put on there.
Iron Man.
Shooting little repulsor beams everywhere.
I mean, what else is there? This tuxedo. What are the? You just, what is noticeable?
Tuxedo's the only thing you can dress
I
your
don't
dick
know.
up
Jeans
like.
and a fucking t-shirt is pretty noticeable on a condom. I mean,
You're gonna pick. They make jeans and a
No,
t-shirt
t-shirt.
condoms.
A Fonz condom or something? Yeah, I don't
James Dean the condom.
Maybe like a football player or something. They have like a jersey and a helmet at the end. I don't know. Chad, what about you? Metroid Prime? Santa suit?
Yeah. If I just pull it down, it's like Wario condom. My dick just goes wah and then blasts everywhere.
For your Wario meat?
All right. Well, that's a good spot to end. So
Time to corral this beast.
yeah, that'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time when we try out 3 Brand new snack.
Deuces.
Yep.